Hey there, welcome back to Turntable Guy. Today on the bench we have a brand new, what is this, carbon? It's a Pro-ject debut carbon Evo. Gentleman just dropped this off for initial setup. He also wants his Ortofon 2M red replaced with a brand new Ortofon 2M bronze. You cannot change the stylus from the red to the bronze and get the same performance because the cartridge bodies are slightly different internally. You can upgrade a red to a blue without any issue because they have the same body, and the Ortofon bronze and black have the same body. So we're going to have to change out the body of the cartridge as well. And even though the bronze stylus will fit on the body of the red, you're not going to get the same performance as if you were installing a completely brand new bronze body or bronze / black body. He purchased these at the same time. Here we are. Here's the unboxing of the Ortofon 2M bronze. Probably a $400 to $500 Canadian cartridge. It looks identical to the red, except for the color of the stylus. But like I said, internally there's supposed to be something a little bit juicier inside the bronze and black body to increase performance. So we'll just set that aside for now. This package contains the power supply transformer for the debut. It's just a simple wall wart. It says here 15 volt 800 milliamp on the output. Here's the cable supplied by Pro-ject. They look to be nice quality. I'm not sure why there's a 1 on this side. Maybe if you have two turntables, this is turntable 1, maybe you can get these with a 2. Not sure. Look like they're nice cables though. And finally we have a anti-skating weight, which we will be installing. It also comes with a large instruction book here on how to get your carbon going. He's already installed the belt, but we'll just have a peek, make sure everything's installed properly here. And it would come with an alignment protractor as well, but he did not drop that off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this this head shell so I can put it exactly where it was. So well, for such a expensive turntable, that has got to be one of the flimsiest looking mats I've ever seen. It feels like paper. I believe that this debut has a much heavier. Oh yes, it does. It has a heavier platter, and it is. It's been lined with a huge chunk of rubber here all the way around the inside. That is really heavy. I worked on a Pro-ject debut a few months ago for a gentleman. It was not the carbon or an Evo. It was the base model, and it did not have this rubber ring here. And the platter was quite ringy, but this one it's nice and dead. Okay, so here's our belt. Pro-ject belt, OEM belt. And he has installed the subplatter, which is lubricated at the factory. Looks like the oil is in nice shape. It's got good hydraulic pullback, as I like to call it. Spins nicely, so we will not be messing with that. and nor will we be messing with this belt. This is not a repair video. This is simply a setup video. And this setup video will actually, it'll work for Regas as well. They're very similar. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is we're going to have to take off our cartridge here. And just make sure you can see that. It's a very irritating Allen key. And there we go. So I do want to make a little mark here as to where it's sitting. And that'll allow me to line up the new one in the same spot. And these, that'll come off afterwards. Excuse my magnifying glass here. All right. The wires are very, very taut, almost to the point where you want to be so careful when removing these. I've actually repaired wires where the customers tried to replace their own cartridge and they ended up snapping off the wire, and I can see why. There's not a lot of play in the wires, so it's really, I like to twist them back and forth a little bit just to start them like that. It just loosens them just a little bit so you can pull them off. So delicate. Okay, so we've got our 4 wires off of our 2M red here. Here's our 2M bronze. So you can see the bodies look completely identical. But the red is going bye-bye. And we're going to put the bronze on. So I kind of like, just because these wires are so taut, I'm going to install, I usually like to button the cartridge up first and put the wires in, but I think I'm going to go the other way this time, just because they're so tight and there's so little play. We'll start off with the green, and then we'll go blue, and then white, then red. We'll go furthest away first. So we'll grab our green. I'm using some tweezers here. And pop that on. Just a little bit of twisting action again. And then we'll grab our blue. So very tight to work in here. And people wonder why I like P-mounts. You don't have to mess around with all this crap. You don't have to worry about alignment. It was a great idea at the wrong time. It should have came out 10 years earlier than it did. There's our white. And finally our red. Okay, all our wires are on. The beauty of this 2M series is you don't need a nut. All you got to do is put a screw in and then just kind of tighten it down like that. There's no nuts to worry about. Still going to fling your screws all over the room, of course. But that's all there is to it. Oh, butterfingers today. Okay, that's close enough. Alright, so I'm just going to line up this cartridge with my marks. Sorry. There. All right, just excuse me again here. It's right on. There we have it. Again, these wires are so tight. They give you so little slack. And then they make the pins so bloody long. Okay. There we are. Let's see what Ortofon recommends for tracking force. Okay, 2M78, 2M mono, 2M red, blue, bronze. It's 5 millivolt output, 20 to 29 hertz, 20 to 29 kilohertz frequency response. It's a nude fine line stylus, and it tracks at 1.5 grams. So the bronze and black track at 1.5, whereas the red and blue track at 1.8. So we have to get 1.5 grams. Ladder back on. And the uber cheap mat. You spend so much money on a turntable. I can't believe this is the mat they give you. Okay. Now, my last video, I showed you, actually the video on the Dual 505 Mark II, I showed you how accurate that early to mid 80s dual was as far as the counterweight. And when we set it up manually, doing the arm balance and setting the tracking force manually, when I put it down on the digital scale, it hit 1.5 right on the money. So I just want to see how accurate this Pro-ject's arm weight system is. Okay, so let's see. So we're going to balance up our arm here. So we're perfectly level, which is right there. As you can see, the arm swings nicely. Okay, we're going to put that back in its holding. We're going to swing our balance indicator to 0, and we're going to apply 1.5 grams, which is right there. And let's see how close we are. Anybody willing to guess? Here we go. Almost 1.6. 1.59. So it's off by a little bit. I mean, that's not crazy bad, but it's not what the dual gave me. Oh, there's 1.6. That might have been my finger. All right, so let's take off 0.1 here, and still heavy. I don't get it. Is it coming out or not? There we go, 1.5. Nope, got to rebalance the, or reset the scale. .48. 1.52. Man, oh man. You know, I just moved that out, and it's still showing 1.52. You know, there we go. Finally, 1.5. And now I'll just turn this scale so it reads 1.5. One more check. There we go. 1 point. Good. You know what? Good enough. I'm not going to sit here all day messing with that stupid thing. I'm telling you folks, that's what you're buying these days. I mean, this turntable's got a lot of good weight, but most of it's in the plotter. Okay. Now, here's our anti-skating. What you want to do is you want to string it around here and hang it on this hook, or throw it across the room. That's the other option. And we'll see which notch 1.5 is at. So let's put the loop on the anti-skating weight on the second groove on the tone arm post. So that's for the factory red. That's not for the bronze, because it's got turn clockwise and reads 1.8 to 2.0, which is the tracking force for the 2M red. So we're going to probably want a little bit lower anti-skating, so that would mean you want the notch closest or furthest away from the pivot point. So we'll go to the end one. That's really hard to get on there because the loop is so big. There we go. There we are. Okay. Let's remove all this stuff here. Shall we listen to it? I'm just going to hook up the wires here. They're on the back. Just got a nice big ground lug. Let's screw it down. Where's my screwdriver? Good. And left and right. Okay. Power. Again, you know, I would rather have a nice beefy power supply in the turntable than a wall wart. Hook it up to my amp. Definitely want to test for sound and make sure our cartridge is hooked up correctly. Let's get a record. Okay, so anti-skate's on, our tracking force is set, cartridge is aligned, our record is on there, the power switch for this table is underneath. I think that's 45. And that should be 33. Arm up. Let's see. Nice slow. Let's switch, turn the amplifier on.
So my garden overflows, thick and wild and
Sounds very bright.
the silence more eloquent than any word could ever be.
Very bright sounding. Definitely. That's got that fine line stylus on it. Not a whole lot of place to put your finger under here if you want to do a manual lift.
Holding one thing.
Sounds nice. It's fully manual, so it won't auto return. Arm goes into this little slot here. It's just kept in with friction. That's why it's a good idea when you're transporting these tables to get twist tie and secure your arm, and put your stylus protector back on when you're when it's not in use. You never know, some kid might come across and want to bang up and down with your $400 cartridge. Anyway, that's just a fast one there. Setup of a brand new Carbon Debut Evo. I think these things sell for around $700 or $800. Are they worth it? I don't know. I really don't know what to tell you. It's got a really nice platter on it. I'm going to give it that. I'm sure the motor's good quality. Plinth seems nice. And to my preference, I prefer vintage tables, but I have no doubt that this arm being carbon fiber, is probably very light and very rigid and very high quality. So anyway, that's this one. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you in the next video.